Ain't that some bullshit?
That's some shit. I couldn't do nothing but laugh because I was like, your face froze, and I'm just like, wait, what
Ah,
happened?
that is what I call some bull shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know what just happened. Well, I do now, but that right there,
yeah.
that can't be happening in StreamYard.
Scream y'all doing that, and excuse me, y'all, if I look like I got a lazy eye. I took too many shots yesterday for the birthday girl and mixed them a liquor. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Squirrels
Falcon
everywhere.
fans.
That's
Between the
some funny
shots
shit
from
though.
Kiki
That's
and the
funny.
StreamYard tonight, we're going through it, y'all.
Bubba Gump, what's up?
We're going through it. So what you could do, Falcon fans, if you're here, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe.
Please
A lot of
subscribe,
people
y'all.
was on the last show 5 minutes ago, and then out of nowhere, StreamYard decides, oh, we're gonna do a damn maintenance. Oh, matter of fact, we're gonna do the maintenance for all the premium members too. Don't care how much they pay a month. So they did some 2 to 3 minute maintenance. Don't know
That's
what it
messed
was
up.
for. Don't know what it was for.
You gotta send them an email.
But in the middle of a great podcast we were having,
Mm-hmm.
chatting it up with all the Falcon fans here, getting ready to get to some other topics that we had to talk about. And then sure enough, StreamYard says, nah, we taking y'all shine tonight.
Won't let us be great.
Well, we are back. For those that are here, for those that can listen or watch later on, shout out to you all. I know it's a lot going on. I'm sure people had to do a lot with their day, but before StreamYard does it again, let's go ahead and wrap up what we had to talk about here for tonight. But yeah, the chat was jumping and questions and so much stuff. Man, StreamYard, why?
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second.
Hey, well,
Hold
for
on
those
one
that's
second.
probably go ahead, you good. For those that's watching here now, that's what just happened. The show was going on from 8 o'clock. We were talking Falcons football, having a great time, getting ready to get into some more topics that we had to talk about, and then StreamYard decides to pull the plug on us and do a quick system maintenance update or whatever it was. I don't know. I seen PlayStation do it before, but that was bad. That was in the middle of a podcast. Come on. Come on, StreamYard. Come on now. Don't make me do it. Don't make me go find a new provider now.
Yeah, that was ass.
Come on now.
Well, maybe that Jaguar fan went to bed though, because it was past his bedtime.
He in here. He in here. He gets the notification too.
Oh, what's up, fan?
He's in here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Before StreamYard does kick us, we did speak about Neiman Marcus, Robin the Neiman Marcus in Chicago. Don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
but he did. Chat was going crazy. We're chatting up with everybody, and we was getting ready to get to our first topic of what Cody Benjamin, journalist from CBS Sports, what he talked about recently this week, mentioning the Atlanta Falcons, because this is big. Shout out to JJ the Great, that's back. Everybody that was here, just hit the like button, hit the share button, tag your
Please
friends,
subscribe.
bring everybody back. I'm sure a lot of people was here on a couple minutes ago before we got kicked or StreamYard kicked us, but we're back. We're going to finish up these last two topics. I found a way to put the show together, and then we'll upload it on YouTube and everything. But Clayton Murray's here. What's up, fam? Arthur Smith is on the chopping block for me. No excuses. Scheme better be better,
Uh,
especially
now I
on
got something to say
offense.
about that. Now y'all got to remember, now he ain't had no money the first 2 years, so let's be fair here with him being on the chopping block. Like he had a 1990 Honda Accord budget the last 2 years. Don't do that to him yet.
Mm.
Let's be fair. He had money this year, even more money next year. No, not yet.
And we do understand that fans on both sides of the fence, on either Ritter or Bijan or AJ Terrell, however, because fans have their opinions. For Arthur Smith, I'm leaning towards a lot of fans probably would say he's going to get close to that hot seat because it's been 2 years. Here comes this year. But it is true. He now has a team that he is fully operational around. He can really do this with this team now. The past 2 years was a part of their rebuilding stage.
Right.
Now, we don't know the long-term plans of the Atlanta Falcons when they talk to Terry and they talk to Arthur Smith behind the scenes because none of us are in the room.
Right.
I think if I'm going to be a fly on the wall, if I'm Terry and Arthur, I'm looking at 2 years ago with the roster saying it's going to take us 2 years to get there. So your name wouldn't technically be on the hot seat because we know, organization, we know it's going to take us 2 years to get there.
Right.
Why Terry stated this year on the conference call at the season ticket holders, it took us 2 years to get where we are right now. And I think Arthur Smith knows that too as well. Now, Vegas has been wrong the past 2 years. Even though the Falcons didn't make it to the playoffs, they said it was going to have 3 wins here, 5 wins here. We beat those both times. So this year, I think they said we're going to have 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
I said 11.
Got 10.
So we talked about this before StreamYard kicked us. The hype train is heavy around the Falcons right now, from Vegas to the media, everything. And Cody Benjamin, who's talked about the Falcons before, has now came out and put out his ranking, Kiki, of the 2023 backup NFL quarterbacks.
Yep.
Not the starters. Who everybody's saying Ritter's 30 in the rankings. He's 31 in the rankings. He's 35 in the rankings. I don't know how. But that's what that's what some media is saying, some media outlets. Cody Benjamin for CBS Sports, Kiki, put out his list.
Backups.
Of the backup NFL quarterbacks in 2023, his ranking list. Number 10, he has Jared Stidham from the Broncos. The Broncos.
Oh, it's the Patriots. I thought that's what he was, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
At one point. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Number 9, Mitchell Trubisky.
He's still in the NFL?
Plays the Steelers.
Mm.
And apparently he's the backup who was once the starter.
To Pickett?
Kenny Pickett. It's Pickettsburg now.
Right. Oh, right.
Familiar face at number 8. Famous Jameis. Down in New Orleans. Who was once a starter.
Right. Famous Jameis. Crab legs.
Look at this list. Jared Stidham. Mitch Trubisky, who was once a starter. Jameis Winston, who was once a starter. Number 7, Gardner Minshew.
Burt Reynolds.
Shit. Who was once a starter. Gardner Minshew.
Where is he now?
Colts.
Okay.
A familiar face at number 6, who was once a starter. A name that we're not supposed to mention here. Marcus Mariota.
Jesus, fix it.
Once a starter? Was he? Yeah, he was.
Twice.
Sheesh. Number 5 is the reason why we're bringing this up. Taylor Heineke at number 5. Jacoby Brissett at 4, Huntley at 3 from the Ravens, Andy Dalton from the Panthers at 2, Trey Lance and Sam Darnold at 1. But number 5 for Tyler Heineke, this is big because a lot of media is putting Desmond Ridder at 31 in the power rankings, 30, 32, so far back, last of the group in the power rankings. But then Cody Benjamin comes up and says that he thinks that Tyler Heineke is the 5th best backup quarterback in the league right now. Which is big because Falcon fans need to understand this. You have 2 quarterbacks in that room that can get you out of some situations if you need them. And that's where the Desmond Ridder fandom comes in. And that's where the Tyler Heineke fandom comes in. Because you got 2 guys who can get the job done. Everybody here knows in this chat that when Matt was there, you didn't want Matt Schwab in the game. You know that. You know that. We're talking about backups. You didn't want Schwab in the game.
Well, some did, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna shut up on that.
In situations where you needed to
Yeah.
Play to win. You
Yeah.
needed Matt Ryan in the game.
Right. But be good
And
kid.
because Matt, shout out to Matt too as well for all the hits that he's taken and just got right back up, walk back to the offense, talk back to the coaches, and find a way to help lead this team to win. So we didn't get the chance to see too much of the backup quarterback. But Tyler Heineke now. This is the new Falcons here, Falcons fans. We didn't talk about this in the past. We can talk about it in the future. Tyler Heineke, 5th on Cody Benjamin's backup quarterback list here, Kiki. That gives you a little bit of promise about your QB room, doesn't it?
It does, but I'm being biased. I feel like Heineke does need to be a little higher. Probably right like around that 2 or 3 spot, because I do feel like he's better than a Darnold, and I do feel like he has more potential than Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is like what, 45 now. So I mean,
54.
Yeah, we saw what Dalton did with
Sarah.
the Aints. We saw what Darnold tried to do with the Panthers. I feel like, Taylor Heineke, if Desmond does not work out, he can come in and lead us to the playoffs.
This is true. That Taylor Heineke can lead this team possibly to the playoffs and a winning record.
He beat us. So hey, and
Taylor
I think
has
he got
shown
a better roster this year than what he's played with. So
that is true. Taylor has shown that he can get it done in the NFL as a starting quarterback.
Right.
And he has also shown that he can get it done in the NFL as a backup quarterback.
Right.
So Falcon fans, if you're feeling some type of way about Ritter and you're calling for the backup, you're not calling for some bum. Right. You're not calling for a no-name. You're calling for a guy that you should feel pretty confident about. If something happens to Desmond Ritter, we hope nothing happens. With all positivity, all positive thoughts and vibes and energy for the Falcons. I want Ritter to go out there and throw for 400 yards first game against the Panthers. Matter of fact, fuck that. 800 yards against the Panthers. Right? That's the type of fan I am. I want to see this team shine. Right? I want to see everybody shine. And I understand they're going to have their woes. They're going to have their ups. Going to have their downs. It happens. All right. I'm a fan. Take it on the chin. Boom. All right. Ritter threw 3 picks. I say he's going to throw for 400 yards. It happens. It's the fucking NFL. But for me as a fan, to know that Tyler Heineke is the backup, Taylor Heineke is a solid backup,
right?
Who we can have in the locker room to help Desmond Ritter, who's been in some situations where he will be the guy, even with the Microsoft Surface, going to Desmond Ritter after the play and saying, X, Y, and Z, look what we got here. And that's what I wanted to see last year. I didn't see that with the Mariota Ritter situation. They talked to Taylor, Coach Terry. They already let him know what his role was going to be. He was perfectly fine with it. And I'm glad to have a guy like Taylor Heineke in the locker room, because he's been in a culture where they won some games in Washington. They weren't the best team. They're pretty ass. But they had some players that stood out on offense and defense, which helped Taylor in a lot of games.
Yeah.
You have a guy like Deron Payne on the other side of the ball helping that defense get the 3 and outs. We got Grady Jarrett on the other side of the ball.
Didn't he beat us 2 years in a row?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. So Falcon fans, you got to look at Taylor Heineke. Cody Benjamin is speaking facts here of having Taylor in the top 10 of the backup quarterbacks. Yeah. Because if they put Ritter in the back of the power rankings for quarterbacks, and Cody Benjamin has Taylor at the top 10, top 5, you should feel good.
Yeah.
Your backup's going to come in and he's solid enough to get the job done. I feel good about that. But I will say, like I said before, and we're not going to get too much into it, but I think some fans here can agree or disagree. If Ritter doesn't get the job done, and we get to the Taylor Heineke talk, where he's now the starting quarterback and Ritter's holding the Microsoft Surface, you're going to use your draft pick next year, and you're going to get a quarterback. Yeah. You're going to get your franchise quarterback. Is it a make it or break it year for Ritter? Possibly could be. Because Falcon fans are tied up with this. They want to win now.
Yeah.
Win now. If this quarterback can't run for 500 yards and throw for 1,000 yards against the Panthers, cut him. Some fans will say that because that's the way that they look at this team. But for us, we represent the organization to say we hope that they can get the job done, whether it's Taylor, whether it's Ritter, whoever it is. Same when they drafted Bijan. If it's him, if it's CP, if it's Algier, just get the job done. That's the way I want to see it. Because whoever's scoring that touchdown, whoever's throwing that pass, whoever's back there at quarterback, that's what I'm rooting for.
Exactly.
So if Ritter can't perform and he goes to week 8 and then Taylor comes in and he turns the season around, I'm high-fiving and cheering when we score 2. That's just the way it is. There's no hate toward Ritter. There's no hate toward Taylor. I just want to see the team win.
Exactly.
But Kiki, I feel good when Cody Benjamin is talking like this about a backup quarterback.
A backup at that, yeah.
How many groups Kiki, how many group chats, forums, Facebook, Twitter have you heard Taylor Heineke's name since he's been with the Atlanta Falcons? How many people talk about it?
Nobody really.
Nobody.
Because
nobody's talking about how good the backup quarterback is.
Right. To most people, good. That wasn't a sexy signing, so as they call it. It wasn't a name, I guess. So you don't hear nobody mention him too much.
Taylor Heinicke, shout out to you,
and he's from Georgia, so I mean, y'all get behind the backup too. Like, let's go. If Desmond can't do it, then got y'all a Georgia boy. So
chat going crazy. We love talking with the chat. We did have a lot of people in here before the maintenance update, whatever.
Right.
Oh no, the boycott, whatever they tried to do against us. But what it do? ATO Georgia Faithful was in the chat.
What's up?
Out of your Falcon mind, another diehard group of podcasters, content creators who do a good job here talking about Falcons football. He says StreamYard gets Mike every show, man. I know Mike is pissed. Shout out to Archangel. He said, we back.
We back.
You know we back. I guess so Kiki in the chat. She said, you about to go back on? I said, yes. Just need to finish these last 2 topics and we'll get over it. Because we want to talk Falcons football with y'all. Am I right, Kiki? I mean, this is it's important. We have a show Sunday, but we're going to get through tonight.
Thanks.
Situation awareness. It's good, Clayton.
What's up?
Out of your Falcon mind said 3 plays away from 10 wins with that squad last year. That being said, yes, we need to see 10 wins minimum this year with these upgrades. Kiki, we talked about this.
Right.
The Saints game. We can go over a beautiful record for the Falcons from last season with some of these plays. The Saints game should have never happened in the 4th quarter. That's one game. Week 2, you came back from 25 points.
Yeah.
Who had the Rams.
Who was Mariota trying to get the ball to? Or like Brian Edwards?
Brian Edwards or Zacchaeus, I think it was.
Yeah, short receiver it did.
Yeah, on a 4th and 3. And then don't forget about, I think it was the fumble after that too as well. Or something. It's a whole bunch of stuff that gets played into what the hell just happened.
Dave Archer, like if you watch that Rise Up video at the end of the season, he said we had 13 close games.
Yeah.
I think the only game we were really out of was that Bengals game.
Yeah. Rams, week 2, that's 2 games because you came back from 25. You had to lead against the Saints. That should have been 2 wins right there. Seattle, you got the win there. The Charger game, 17-17, the fumble from Tyquan Graham. And then also the Drake London right there at the goal line when Khalil Mack stripped the ball out. So we're going over possessions where you held the Chargers, a team that was supposed to come into the house and blow you out.
Yeah. That's what they said too.
High flying offense. It was 17-17 up until that ridiculous spot that happened. The Tampa game against the Brady sack.
Oh,
we came back in the 4th quarter. That would have changed the momentum of the game right there. That's what 4 games we're going over right now.
Jerome Boger can go to hell. I'm glad you retired. Get the hell out of the NFL.
That's the 4 games we can go over there right now. The Bengals game, you scored the 17 unanswered. You made the stop when they came out in the 4th in the second half. When they got the ball in the second half, you made the stop on 4th and 3. You could have had the chance to go be down at least by 3 or 4 points. If you would have got the ball back and scored. Hell, you just scored 17 unanswered going into the half. And you made the stop coming out against the Bengals on the first drive. That could have been another game you could have had the game changed on you. What's another game?
The Redskins, we could have won that one.
You could have won the Redskins and the Ravens game.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm at the Commanders. Sorry.
Drake London fumbling against the Saints in the 4th quarter when we're leading the comeback.
Ravens game was close.
I just gave y'all almost 6 games the Falcons had in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind. This season should have you guys hyped about what the Falcons can do. Off of
Right.
hearing what I just told you last year.
Right.
Them players that's on the roster from last year to this year know about them games. They're going to turn
Mm-hmm.
that shit around, too. They looking at Jesse Bates like, okay. They're looking at Bijan like, okay. Yeah, totally different group in this joker now.
Yes, sir.
Heard that before. I said, we're going to the playoffs. I'm calling it now. Heard that before. If you've been on this podcast since the start of the year, we've been calling that since what? Since Ritter threw that first pass.
Yes.
Goddamn.
Yes.
We love the Falcons,
South
man.
champs.
Say it again, Kiki.
NFC South champs.
We're definitely going to get it this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to get it this year. 10-7 or 11-6. JJ
Facts.
the Great.
Facts, JJ.
JJ did make a good point here. He said, if we miss the playoffs this year, Arthur will be on the hot seat in 2024. He's safe for now, though. That's a true fact.
Right.
I can see that happening.
Right.
But what I also can see is if he makes the playoffs this year, probably makes the playoffs next year, or a Super Bowl run, however, NFC Championship, however, you better put the extension on the table. I need to see a coach here for long term. I love what the Steelers do with their coaching.
Right. Because I'm tired of these different coaches. No lie.
I don't. If Arthur Smith is giving you the next couple of seasons of us going to the playoffs and winning the division, I need to see him here in Atlanta to 2027, 2028. I don't need to see Arthur Smith fired in 2026 and he's gone to another team and you're bringing in Joe Schmo, who's now got the end of Grady's career and Jake Matthews' career. I don't need to see that. Keep Arthur Smith where he is right now if he's going to give you the performance that you need from the organization to the fan base.
Facts.
Terry, too. Terry cooking.
Love Terry.
Shout out Terry. Sneakerhead. I got these J's over here, man. I'm going to get Terry see if he can sign some of these J's I got. Bring a whole bunch of like 50 shoe boxes. Like, Terry, sign these J's. Chat going crazy. I agree, JJ. Wouldn't even be surprised if we went 12 wins.
See that too.
Falcon fan. Wait, hey, hold on here. Wait, hold on. We're talking about 12 wins in the chat? Are we serious?
I mean, you got to think about it. This is the most exciting time to be a Falcon fan. This is like a whole new team. Outside of the two OGs and Matthews and Grady, like this is a new look Falcons. Like 12 wins.
But Bubba Gump said, I say 11-6, but 12 to 14 wins is possible.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, they talking in the chat tonight. This is why we do these podcasts. They talking in the chat tonight.
Right.
Where's Felipe Franks on that list, Jack?
Holding the clipboard for Heineke.
Whoever's on the 53, go out there and get the job done.
Yeah, that's facts. Like, if he's playing tight end, go Felipe.
He can block on a sweep to Bijan.
Hell,
and let Bijan get 12
might
yards.
Get a touchdown this year. Let's go, Felipe. Let's go.
I'm all for it. But I probably see him on that. You ain't taking no trip to Germany and not making that 53.
Exactly. That's what I said too when I saw that picture. I was like, he's on the team, so hey.
You take the trip to Germany, you making that 53.
Mm-hmm. Because look who they took to Germany at that. So yeah, he making that 53.
I mean, the way the roster looking right now, hey, I ain't gonna lie, but if I had that Franks in me, I would say, hey, look, I'm finna play linebacker too. And safety. Quarterback, tight end, linebacker, safety. Where you need me at, coach? I'm CP.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do sometimes, man. I mean, what? Algier was playing, 3 different positions in college? Troy was playing 3 or 4 different positions in college?
I just found that out. I just found out like 2 weeks ago that Algier was a linebacker.
Yeah, he's a linebacker.
I saw that clip with him punching the ball out of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell?
BYU didn't hesitate. Too? They looked at his size and was like, well, can he play linebacker? Oh, that's a good tackle. Yeah, he can play linebacker.
I like literally 2 weeks ago, I just found that out. Felipe for president. Hey, like I said, I mean, if he makes the team, go ball out, Felipe.
Get the votes in. For anybody who's going to OTAs coming up in the next couple of weeks, congratulations, for getting an opportunity to possibly make the Atlanta Falcons roster or the practice squad, or we'll never know when they need you. You might get a player cut who doesn't make the squad in week 6. They bring him back and he makes the team and he goes crazy. I mean, people know about the Stephen Mean story and all that type of stuff too as well. But shout out to every player who's getting ready to go out to training camp soon. We're going to be out there one time for the fans to be, prepared for us bringing you a lot of content out there. We do respect the Falcons rules of no photographs or no videotaping whenever they do their drills. So we have no problem with that, but we will be texting and tweeting and talking out with all the Falcon fans who can't make the day too as well. So be prepared for that. Last year was pretty cool. They had NFL Network come out. Mario, Eric, everybody's out there front row. That's so cool when you get to hang out with all the diehards. But we had another thing to talk about here before we wrap this show up. Clayton Murray said, I believe in Ritter over Heineke. As you should.
That's a good thing.
That's the starter and the backup. I guarantee you, Clayton, though, if Ritter, something happens and Taylor comes in and he scores and we're winning, we're all doing the cheers. We're all doing the high fives. We're all doing the handshakes. Because why? We just won. Who was the quarterback? The backup. Shit, we won.
I mean, look at San Fran's situation. I mean, did anybody ever hear of Brock Purdy? I didn't.
Purdy had that city on his back.
He did.
That's the only thing I'm taking from the San Fran scheme right there when I talk about other teams. Purdy had the city on his back, and everybody counted Purdy out. The Cinderella story is beautiful. He lost, Mr. I understand. Relevant. But it made sense in the end that this kid did come from, he wanted to play football. He knows how to play the game. Just because he's the last pick in the draft doesn't mean he can't get the job done. And in the time of need, when the guy that we hated the most, Kyle Shanahan, decides to bring this guy out, put him out there on the field because of the quarterback situation, and he's able to turn the San Francisco around, like that was crazy to see. But it gives you hope that a young lad like Desmond Ritter and a guy like Taylor Heineke can go in there and get the job done. If Brock Purdy and that team over there can do it, have that hope for Desmond Ritter. Exactly. Have that hope for Taylor Heineke, because you want to be over there clapping and cheering when we score. You want to beat the Panthers week 1. Everybody in this chat wants to beat the Panthers week 1. Everybody listening and watching wants to beat the Panthers week 1. And who's the quarterback? Desmond Ritter, which means you want him to go 1-0, right? Then the Packers week 2. The schedule is set up. All this playoff talk is because of why? The team looks good. But Desmond Ritter also has to play a major role in helping out this team win.
And he got the right weapons around him.
He's the starter. That's what we talk about when it comes to the Desmond Ritter, like fandom and all that type of stuff. He's the starter. That's all we're going with. And he has to go out there. He has a major role to get the job done this season. And if Taylor's the quarterback, if he's the quarterback, I told you it could be me as the quarterback. I might have that look like Willie Beeman on my face, but I can throw the ball 80 on the run. I told y'all. I ain't going to go over it again. But anybody could be the quarterback here at the Atlanta Falcons. And the support that I seen from Mariota last year, from that preseason game, I remember it. Yeah. I remember it. I remember y'all tweeting and texting about Mariota.
Oh, I went crazy. I went crazy that first preseason game.
Mobile quarterback.
Like, what were we calling him? Super Mariota.
Somebody, they put the cape on him in the preseason game. They put the cape on him. Because you went through 13 plus years of Matt Ryan sitting in the pocket. And then the first preseason game, within the first 3 plays, the guy ran for like 42 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying his speeds on Madden is like a 90. What's up, Kiki?
Right. I say it was different. It was,
It's different.
It's different.
Ritter gives you that little bit of different this year. How intelligent is he?
Right. And when he came in, playmaker is he? Right. And when he came in that game, the first preseason game, I was excited to see him too. I mean, that game winning drive with him and Bruhhhhhhhhhhh, I mean, that was fire. I don't care what nobody said. That was fun.
I agree with a lot of fans on both sides of the fence with this stuff. Some of the fans saying he has to prove it. Yeah. You're right.
You're right.
Not hating on him. He has to prove it.
He does.
Some of the fans are like, he's the starter. That's our guy. We rocking with him. You're right. I'm over here too.
Right.
At the end of the day, whoever scores, whoever helps, you don't know what can happen between now and the season. Taylor can end up being the starter. Something can happen. We don't know. Just show up and support. That goes to our fan video we did the other night about hostile environments. Show up and support. Washington is showing up for Sam Howell.
Yes, they are. They are. I mean, I don't know who's going to be the starter in that situation, if Jacoby's going to start or him, but they are. Howell has a good little following too. Jordan Love got his following. I mean, hey, let's go. Don't we see both of them this year too?
We do. Grandide's in the building. Says this Rise Up podcast, everything Falcons related. The Rise Up Tour podcast is every Tuesday. We talk about the away games and everything over in the Rise Up Tour group for all the fans that travel to the away games. But if you're talking about a Falcons Rise Up podcast, oh yeah, we do that too as well. We talk Falcons football every Sunday. Used to be every Wednesday. Now we're looking to change up our dates during the week. But we have a lot of content over here on our One Time for the Fan channel on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Kiki, an amazing podcaster here with us. Chase, who's not with us tonight. Bodie, who's not with us tonight. So we have a great mix of Falcon fans who are diehards. They love football. They love the organization. They love the team. We had Drake's fifth cousin is sitting right here. Drake London's fifth cousin is sitting right here. For God's sakes, I mean, this is great. You just can't beat it. But yeah, that's just the joke that we use here on the podcast too as well.
Right.
So,
right.
Because some fans gonna be like, Kiki, can you get that jersey signed?
Right, I can't get you tickets and I can't get you the jersey signed. That's just a joke that my daddy tells. So don't ask me.
Clayton Murray. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up here shortly too. Clayton Murray said we got the third easiest schedule. We need to take advantage of it.
I mean, that's true, but let's remember, let's not sleep on our opponents either, because teams do get better. I mean, some teams don't, but some do get better. So I mean, let's just remember that we got to play these teams like,
Big Low Country said 11 wins. He got to 4K subs yesterday. We get naked if the Falcons get 12 wins. So Big Low Country fans are here in the chat. Big Low Country. Shout out to Big Low Country. If I can use one of your lines, brother. One word, bro. Shout out to Big Low Country.
I
he's
don't know
also
about getting naked, but I'll throw my drawers if we get 12 wins. I will throw the drawers. Y'all gonna see all the big granny panties falling from the ceiling in the bins.
Sheesh, getting naked and throwing draws
throwing
for 12
draws.
wins? What are we doing for the playoffs?
When the last time we seen 12 wins? Honestly. I mean, because the Super Bowl season, it was what, 11? 11 and 5 that year?
We're definitely going to do a podcast about this. What if we do get like 13, 14 wins? How the fuck we finna act? Like, we're finna go wild out here. We get 12 plus wins this year. We're talking shit to everybody.
I'm talking shit to my boss, and she don't even watch football.
Fire me right now.
Right.
Just go ahead and let me go. How many wins you got? 12. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Remember what you said to me 2 years ago? Fuck you. You're cool, but fuck you. Yeah, we explicit over here too as well. I got to put that up for the YouTube.
Yeah.
People's like,
keep pouting, blew that, and fuck a buck.
Deshaun said 15 wins.
Okay,
Gold Team Production going ham in here. He said, I can see y'all making the playoffs. You guys are definitely putting that defense together. Plus, London is a dog. Bolt up.
That's a Chargers fan. But let me say, that's my cousin. That's my real life cousin right there. First cousin at that. Our mothers are sisters. He's low key a Falcon fan, so don't pay attention to that bolt up hashtag.
Jelly Jones said, I'm thinking 10 wins this year.
What's up, Jalen?
Last comment here before we get to our last topic or last two topics. We need a guy like him. Why adding Jesse Bates? The third was an essential to expediting Falcons defensive progress. Atlanta Falcons official. Jesse Bates, we haven't talked much about here on the channel. Right. And I apologize because ever since he signed and we gave our praise to Jesse Bates about being here in Atlanta and we gave our shout outs, we haven't said much about him here on the channel. We focus a lot on the offense because the defense is just doing a great job right now with the players that they have in the building, the rebuilt defense that is going on with the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to spend some time on that too. But I think, Kiki, we've spent about 2 months talking about the offense. We have. And we're going to switch it up to get to the defense because the offensive line, if you heard the podcast recently, we talked about Drew Dahlman a lot. We've talked about Jake Matthews a lot. We talked about Caleb McGarry and Lindstrom a lot. We talked about Bijan and CP, the running back room, the wide receiver room, the tight ends, Desmond Ritter. We talked about all that. The Freddie the Falcon we talked about. Haven't spent too much time in the past couple months speaking about the defense, but guess what? We're getting ready to start getting ready to start sending over some notes about the defensive side because we
Right.
know fans are excited about this Grits Blitz remake on paper. People are saying like this team is stacked, and you have the coaching staff.
Yeah.
We haven't even the coaching staff.
I still can't believe that we have Jesse Bates. I'm like seriously like seeing him in the Falcons gear, but it's still not has hit me. I think it won't hit me until week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's I'm excited, man. Like, let's go.
Bubba Gump and Anthony White is here in the chat. Let's
What's
go
up,
ahead and
Anthony?
What's up, Kiki?
No, I said what's up, Anthony. Always show me love on Twitter. I gotta show him love back.
That's what's up. Falcon fans represent. That's what I love to see. Going over here to what Yahoo Sports is talking about. 5 NFL players named for the biggest chance for a breakout season. Number 5, they have Cardinals Isaiah Simmons. Number 4, they have the Bears Chase Claypool.
Let me shut up on that one.
We play the Cardinals, we play the Bears. The Steelers, Najee Harris at 3.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford for the Rams at 2.
Well,
and
he
our
could
guy,
have a breakout.
Yeah. 5 NFL players named for the biggest chance for a breakout season by Yahoo Sports. And number 1.
Drake London.
No. Kyle Pitts.
Oh, yes.
Kyle Pitts is on the list of Yahoo Sports 5 players named for the biggest chance for a breakout season. Kiki, how do we feel about hearing this type of news? Because people have been, staying away from Pitts because of the injury. Yahoo Sports is like, what injury? That man finna go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We got somebody on the inside. Your thoughts about that? Breakout, the media outlets from Cody Benjamin, PFF, CBS Sports, draft analysts, all these people. And now Yahoo coming out saying Kyle Pitts is going to have a breakout season? Talk to us, Kiki, please.
Listen, I've been on the Kyle Pitts hype train since we drafted him. I think people forget about his rookie season a lot. And I don't know why. I don't know why last season is so etched into their heads. I mean, look who he had throwing him the ball. He was getting underthrown passes and overthrown passes. But his rookie year, 1,000 yards. I mean, he only had 1 touchdown, but whatever. Yo, I already think he had his breakout season. That was his rookie season. But hey, I mean, what is it? He could have a redemption season.
Yep.
The redemption, the comeback. So let's go, Kyle Pitts. He's about to go off because I know he heard them talking. So you're right, Bubba.
If Yahoo Sports, who's much bigger, by name of one time for the fan, of course they have their ears and eyes everywhere when it comes to this type of situation with dealing with NFL teams and media and coverage. I'd love for one time for the fan to get there that one day too as well. But for Yahoo Sports to come out and to give us this news about they think that Kyle Pitts could be one of the players to have a breakout season. Mm-hmm. This does send, shockwaves out to the NFL because you have NFL personnel reading Yahoo Sports. You have media, journalists from other teams reading Yahoo Sports.
Right.
Other NFL players reading Yahoo Sports saying, holy shit, they think Kyle Pitts going to do that. Let me see my schedule. Oh, shit, we played in week 2. Uh-huh. It puts a different type of kind of theory into your head of how good is this team, really? When you got PFF talking about Drake having breakout season, and Yahoo Sports talking about Pitts having breakout season, Bijan possibly number 1 candidate for offensive rookie of the year, and fantasy numbers, and number 1 in dynasty. What the hell is going on here? Mm-hmm. This team is really good. And people are getting on board. They see it. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Yahoo Sports for that because it gives us content to talk about. If Pitts has anything like close to the first year with this offense, we're going to the playoffs just off what I said with Pitts alone. Because you're going to add Bijan and CP and Drake and everything else to the mix that if Pitts is getting 1,000, everybody else is eating too.
Yep.
And I want to see, if Yahoo Sports is saying that, Kiki, I want to see more of Pitts being used like Kittle. That's what fans are going to say. We got to get him the ball.
We do.
He can't be the breakout player. He ain't getting the ball.
Right.
I want to see more of the Pitts in that Kittle role, that Kelsey role. There's plays where I watch Kansas City and they're like, no forcing it to Kelsey. Here you go. You're wide open. Here you go.
They make it look effortless.
Quick little out route. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Kansas
So
City just makes stuff look effortless. Like
it does. Don't say it can't be done, Falcon fans. Oh, they'll never get Pitts the ball. There's no way they can get him the ball. They can. They can. And I think it's going to happen. You have the weapons out there. When Pitts lines up in any spot out there on the field, you're going to have teams looking around like, please don't let this be that Yahoo Sports moment.
Yep. He got a game where he's going to go off. I don't know which one, but he's due for a game where he goes off, like that Miami game.
Kiki, look at the schedule this year. You have a bunch of players who's due to go off. Look at the teams we're playing against. If we're going, I know every team changes up. I understand every team's different. But
week 1, he might go off.
Bijan should have about 200 on the ground against Houston.
Facts.
We should see about $150 each from the running backs against the Packers. Ain't nothing scaring me till we get to that London game, really. Or really, that Detroit game, that front line is pretty tight.
Right.
They're gonna eat. But it's gonna be.
It all depends too who's gonna be playing, because we know Detroit got a couple of players that might be, suspended. They got a little gambling problem.
Some of these players spending $800 to gamble, you throwing away your career to win $1,500. What are you doing?
And with Pookie or Ray, just get one of them to do it from their accounts if you're gonna do all that.
Shit.
You got a cousin. You got plenty cousins.
One time for the fan, we are lit. JJ the Great said, who leads the team in interceptions? He says Bates. Kiki, what you got? Interceptions?
I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna say AJ.
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say Jeff Okudah. You don't want to throw. First of all, you don't even want to run the ball toward Calais' side. You got Terrell Island over there on one side. Jesse Bates roaming the damn field. Richie Grant, who most teams know that's played the Falcons previously, if they've known Richie Grant to have his positive moments,
he does.
Them two safeties together is going to eat some. They're going to eat some turf. They're going to tear some shit up out there. I guarantee you that. And then you have Jeff Okudah. So you have teams looking like, oh, we'll pick on Jeff.
And you're right. They gonna be thinking like that too. They are gonna be thinking like that. They're gonna think he's the same Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
So it's gonna be fun to watch.
I love what this roster is looking like. How do you scheme for that? How are you going into the game like, okay, I'm going to Terrell's side this game. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm gonna run the ball at the middle. Good luck.
And that's a great problem to have, because how can we haven't had this problem in a long time? Long time. It's due.
If I'm going to attack anything with the Falcons right now, I'm going to the linebackers.
Right.
If I can get to the second level with my offensive line, if I can push that running back through and I get to those linebackers, I might be able to get some yards, might be able to eat a couple drag routes across the middle, get the linebackers at the spot, a couple, misdirection plays. I understand that. But your basic running through the A-gap, your basic zone read bullshit that teams are expecting to do, it's not happening on this Falcons team. It's not happening. I'm looking at a team that's going to come in there with a force, being aggressive, violent this season in a good way. I'm not talking about beating up people. I know some people might say violent. Oh shit, this is just football. No,
maybe
we gotta get nasty out there. We need a team out there that's going to be nasty. When you know about the Falcons, they're going to say, "Hey, they just kicked our ass for 60 minutes." That's
week
what we
one.
want. Week one, the Panthers got to feel it. The Packers got to feel it week 2 to say they finna make some noise.
So season. show up, be at the Benz. September 11th? No, is it 10th?
The Benz?
Yeah, first week 1. Is that the 10th?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. I always get my dates mixed up, so I want to make sure I'm right on time with this. September 10th against the Panthers.
Be
September
in
17th.
your seat. Get there early. Walk around. Get the feel of the Benz if it's your first time. But be in your seats by kickoff.
Yes.
We don't want Bryce Young to hear shit.
We talked about this Shout out to Bubba Gump. The second level is the weak link of the defense, which is why if I'm going to go spend some money, go get any player right now, it's probably going to be a linebacker.
Right.
Somebody who I know that can, if unless you're making a trade or you got another guy sitting in the free agency somewhere, Terry's amazing with these moves that he can make. Next thing you know, he's bringing in some 10, 15 sack guy, adding to this team. Who knows? But if I'm going to look to one position to add right now, it would be the linebacker. Middle linebacker room. But Pitts, the numbers about him, and the NFL media talking about the hype train and Bijan, all this plays into why One Time for the Fan has a podcast, because we want to see the team win. You hear it every single podcast from us about how the team can win, what the team can do to win, and when they win, we're gonna have a good damn time on this podcast.
Hell yeah!
But like we said on the fan video we did the other night, and like Kiki just said, you have to do your part, Falcons fans. You have to show up to the Benz on time. Mm-hmm. Get to your seat. Make some noise. Don't tell other Falcon fans to sit down.
Get off your phone.
Get off your phone.
Instagram.
You can check your phone every now and then, but you can't make noise and do all that extra stuff, and you're down there not caring about the game.
Right, you on fantasy. Oh, let me see what George Pickens or let me see what Travis Kelce, somebody doing it right now. Like what? Check all that after the game.
And I'll say it again. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is the glorious state of the art. You are definitely right about that, and fans should be happy about walking in that building. A lot of first-time fans. That's a beautiful place. Kiki knows it, and she's driving hours away to come there to the game.
3.5, sometimes 4, depends on traffic.
Die-hard fan. So, Falcon fans, we talked about this in the fan video. Please be there, support the team. But I mentioned it, Kiki. I've been to stadiums where they got the fantasy football, they got the social media, they got Facebook, they got but they ain't on their phones.
They ain't.
I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've said it before in previous podcasts about cities I've been to as a fan, watching people just stand up with their hands in their pocket, watching the game. Everybody standing up. Mm-hmm. And these are teams that a couple of them don't even have Super Bowls.
Detroit.
I've been to these cities, folks. I'm wrapping the tour up. Hopefully I can get to 32 stadiums within the next couple of years. I'm rounding 20 stadiums. This year, my 2 new stadiums is Detroit and New York. And London, because London's added on. Mm-hmm. But Detroit and New York is the 2 new stadiums. I've already been to the other stadiums before. Been to Tennessee. Been to Chicago.
This would be your first time in
first time in Detroit, first time in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
For the stadium. I've been to the city, but just going to the game. Right. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But One Time for the Fan, this has been a great podcast with you all. The bullshit that happened earlier with, I guess, StreamYard cutting us off and doing our maintenance and then letting us come back on. I don't know what happened. But for those that did join in before and join in after, if you watched before, if you're watching after or listening after, thank you for rocking with One Time for the Fan.
Appreciate it.
We really do. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget social media, One Time for the Atlanta Falcons Facebook group. You can join that group if you want to talk Falcons football with other Falcons fans. One Time for the Fan on YouTube, Twitter, all social media. Check us out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. We are going to be at the open training camp coming up, open to the public in a couple weeks. The preseason game too as well. The home opener, away games. Anybody who's traveling to any away games, hit me up. We have a lot of meet and greets, a lot of events and stuff that we do with the Rise Up Tour. So shout out to them. And please just be ready for this season. Because I'm telling you, from me to Kiki to Chase to Bodie, we talk about this all the time. We are ready to see these Falcons on the field. And it's another Sunday closer to football. I believe this is the last month. This is the last month where there is no football, right?
Yep. Last month. Preseason to be here before you know it. It's the first time I'm excited about preseason. And normally I usually don't care.
Falcon fans, you have fans going down to Miami for the open practice and the game. So when you talk about fans are excited about seeing this team, they're really excited about seeing this team. So shout out to all the Falcon fans here in the chat. JJ the Great, Grandizer 12, Dirty Falcons, Archangel, Bubba Gump, Carrie, who was here earlier, Out of Your Falcon Mind, 95 North, Anthony White, LaMarcus Boyd, so many people, Thomas Scott, so many people to name. I'm sure other people's going to join in and tune in later on to watch the show. But all social media platforms, One Time for the Fan, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Sunday, we're going back to the beginning. Going back to when it started. One Time for the Fan. Mm-hmm. My good friend Bodie, 3000. We're going back to our Sunday show, Miss Kiki.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be doing the Sunday show at 8. Then we're going to have some more pre-recorded content coming up that week. And then we're going to have that new time slot, which could be tonight, Thursdays. I like tonight. Tonight was actually pretty dope. I mean, a lot of people jumped in.
Right. So stay tuned.
So this is great, but we're definitely going to be bringing out a lot of content, a lot of pop-up shows, 15, 20, 30-minute shows that we can just take a couple minutes just to chat with you all, because the chat always has questions and comments and things we want to read on the screen. So thank you all for being a part of this tonight. Kiki, any final words for tonight, my good friend?
Yes, sir. Like, let's rep our team. Like I said, let's show up week 1. Like, we don't want those Panthers in there feeling like they have the home field advantage. So stand up, first, second, and third down. We don't want them to get a field goal. Like, let's have Bryce looking like. And as always, blew that. Keep pouting. Fire those BB guns. Rise up.
Last comment for the night. Ruah is in the chat. It says Jerry Gray has that secondary straightened up. You're not doing anything on the Falcons right now. And we will deep dive into Jerry Gray and Ryan Nielsen and a lot of the other coaching staff. Dave Huxtable, who Falcon fans are not talking about, the defensive senior assistant that came from Alabama. Years of coaching experience.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, Dave Huxtable, wait until you hear some of the reports that we can put out about Dave Huxtable being a part of this Falcons organization. There's certain people here in that locker room that you don't know that is playing a big part in this Falcons team. And I want to give a shout out to them too as well. Not just the players, the coaches, people you do not remember, you do not know. You'll see him on the sideline and say, who is that? He's that guy. So wait till we talk about Dave Huxtable a little bit more on One Time for the Fan. But we'll be back on Sunday, 8 o'clock. No acoustic cinematic tonight because me and Kiki love it. Nobody else loves it. We'll be good, y'all. Sunday, 8 p.m.
Peace out.
Rise up, y'all.
Good night.